Now moving on to other stories. Deputy Gender Minister-designate Francisca Oting-Mensah has rejected claims of engaging in conflict of interest as the Commission of Human Rights and Administrative Justice proceeds with investigations over allegations that the lawmaker used her influence as the board chairperson of the National Youth Authority to lead the board in approving the procurement of sanitizers from a company in which she is said to be a director and a shareholder. A resident of Nima in Accra, Ismail Mohammed, on January 21, 2021, petitioned the anti-graft institution to look into the conduct of the MP, insisting the NYA's 3 million cedis expenses on COVID-19 campaign in 2020 had element of impropriety. However, the MP is denying the claims in a response to an official query from CHRAJ on the matter. My colleague, Kweku Asante, joins me on Zoom with more on this. Kweku, first of all, what are the demands of this private citizen who made the complaint to CHRAJ?
So, Brace, according to this private citizen, about 700,000 Ghana cedis was used by the YEA to procure some sanitizers. And these sanitizers were procured from Adonko Company Limited, which is related to the Honorable Member of Parliament, who was also the board chairman at the time. They say that as director of the company, she used her influence to influence this selection of the Adonko company, which is related to her father, as well as she being a director of that company.
Now, we understand there is a response from the Deputy Gender Minister-designate. What does she say about this?
So, according to explanations that have been filed on behalf of Madame Francisca Oting at CHRAJ, lawyers for the MP, Jogate, who is also a member of Parliament, says that the MP duly declared the interest he has in the company as director, and that information was known to the entity tender committee and the kind of people who took the decision to give the contract to the Adonko Company Limited, and that Francisca Oting-Mensah did not at any point in time unduly use her influence to aid the selection of Adonko Company, and that they were very duly qualified at the time they were selected.
Do the lawyers say anything about what the CHRAJ is doing?
Well, they say that the MP and the board chair is innocent and that the delay amounts to justice being denied. And we know that this information is all over. They say that they are ready to respond to whatever issues CHRAJ has, and that if at any point in time they are required, the MP is required to answer some questions. The lawyers are on standby to do that. They have nothing to hide. And whilst this drags on, it unduly affects the image of the Member of Parliament, who is expected to be vetted just next month for the position of Deputy Minister.
Kweku Asante with details there. Now, so what do anti-graft campaigners make of this situation, and what is the way out? We've been joined on the line by the lead convener for the Citizen Movement Against Corruption, Edem Senanu. Thanks so much for your time, sir. First of all, your thought on this development.
Well, thank you. I think it's good to see that citizens are much more concerned and alert about situations of conflict of interest and highlighting them. It's a good thing. It provides an opportunity to do much more education on the issues of conflict of interest and to make sure that public officers adhere to those rules where you are not to even put yourself in a position that is likely to become a potential conflict of interest situation. So it's good for Ghana, and it's good that people are now highlighting these situations more than ever before.
What does this say about people in public service and the public service in its entirety?
I think that many people are not very conversant with what conflict of interest means and what potential conflict of interest situations you could have. I mean, if I take the current scenario, declaring your position that you have interest in XYZ companies is a good start, especially when that is formal. And I think that every public officer who is assigned, appointed to either management or directorship level ought to do that as a first start. The next thing is, if you identify a situation where there's a potential conflict of interest, ideally, what you find in terms of standard is that you either say that then that company should not be part of the process. It may sound unfair, but if you don't want a citizen who just looking at the situation on its surface level to raise issues, you have one of two options. Either to then elect that company of which you are director that please do not participate in this tender Because since I'm also a director of this company, or for that matter, the chair of the board, it will seem like a position of conflict of interest. And so I'll dissuade you for going through this process. That's one way to approach it. Otherwise, you probably want to outsource the procurement process entirely to an independent, credible entity who will then go through it, record how they did it, the criteria that was used, said that if the company wins, it cannot be attributed to yourself or internal persons who may have been influenced by you. So, yes, those are for me the fundamentals.
All right. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us with your thoughts.
And thank you for having me.
Adam Senano is lead convener for the Citizen Movement Against Corruption.